Welcome back to Cake and It's Special. My name is Lauren, and with Valentine's Day fast approaching, I wanted to have a go at making this teddy bear Valentine's cake topper. So here we go. I'm starting with some Cericino modelling paste that I've dyed a pale brown, and the first thing I need to do is make a leg. So I roll out a cord and push one end up into a foot. It's a really basic shape. Then I'm going to take a skewer and insert it straight through the centre, being careful not to change the shape. Then I can just insert that into the cake dummy that I'm building this on, making sure that the skewer is pushed far enough into the dummy to be secure. And then I roll my stitching wheel up the leg. For the body, I take more of my modelling paste and use my hands to roll it so that it is slimmer at one end, and then I use my knife to cut a flat end at the wider end. I run my finger across the centre so it looks like the bear has got a little podgy belly. And then carefully insert that onto the skewer at an angle. So you want to do this so that the skewer goes through the leg and comes out where you're going to put the head. Take your time with that. And then once again I can run my stitching tool across the centre of the body. I make his second leg the same as before, but this time I'm going to insert a cocktail stick into it. I can then insert this so that it's at an angle. I'm going to prop the leg up with a small piece of fondant just until it's set in place. I roll out a ball for the head. I run my stitching tool across the centre again, and then I take some lighter brown piece of fondant for the bottom half of the face. I use a tiny balling tool to open up a mouth and also a little socket for his nose. For his eye sockets, I use a bigger balling tool as well as a small balling tool, just to give it a bit more definition. And then I can fill in the tiny eye sockets with some white fondant. And then the head can be inserted onto the body. He needs his little bear ears, so I just slightly flatten a ball of my brown modelling paste and push a balling tool into the centre. Then I can cut this in half to give me 2 ears, and then I can stick them on top where I want them. I just use water to stick everything in place. The arms are just 2 basic cords that I've cut to the same length. I put a little bend in for the elbow and place one so that it's going to go above his head. I stick it to the shoulder and also to the face just to give it some extra support. And give it a really good push to make sure it's nice and secure. I use a sculpting tool to make a crease in one hand so it looks like the fingers are folded over. And I put the second arm in place using a cocktail stick for support. Because he is a Valentine's bear, I wanted him to have a red bow tie. So I cut a thin strip of red fondant and fold both ends into the centre, and then push either end of the centre in before sticking it on the bear. And then I can add a tiny red strand for the middle of the bow. I put a tiny piece of black fondant in the mouth and then a tiny piece of red for the tongue. I also add a couple of black dots into the eye and make sure that they're looking up. I add a tiny little triangle of dark brown for the nose. So, for the balloon. I've got a polystyrene rosebud and I'm going to cut a V out of the wider end to make it into a heart. And then I can cover this in red fondant, again just using water. And then I take some flower wire and give it a twist around my finger to give it a bit more life. And push the wire through the bear's hand. And when it's positioned how I would like it to, I can then insert the wire into the balloon. Now finally, I go over the bear with some dry dusts. I use the brown to add some shading, and then I just go in with some pink to give him some rosy cheeks. And there he is. Cute, isn't he? Perfect for Valentine's Day. So that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, if you haven't, please do go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on a weekly cake tutorial by me. Thanks, guys. Bye.